All right. Hi, everyone. Jax here. And on tonight's episode of Just About Everything, we have Carla Siler-Maddalena, Michigan's FLL Robotics Coach of the Year 2015. Carla does live in Michigan. Her and I became friends through the internet when I was planning my first wedding. We met on a message board because we both appreciated each other's style. And from there, our relationship has grown immensely through the internet. We've even met in person a few times. So allow me to introduce Carla. Carla, say hello.
Hey everybody, what's up?
So to start off, why did you start doing a robot or how did you get it? Not how did you get into robotics coaching, but why did you start doing robotics coaching where you are?
Basically, it came down to no one else in the area was doing it, and there was children that wanted to do it. I had a group of kids that were interested and a company willing to sponsor, so I volunteered knowing absolutely nothing about robotics. I'm a software developer, so robotics and software hand in hand, but they're definitely two different disciplines.
So did they provide you with some training in order to be in this role, or you just picked it up?
Nope, $500 and a group of kids. That was my training. And then we kind of learned together as we went, which is part of the philosophy of robotics, is you learn with your coaches. No one has all the answers.
Right. So to go from there to being a robotics coach of the year, that's a great accomplishment.
14 years of experience helps that a lot.
Yeah.
Very, very much.
Yeah, so how long, first off, have you been doing this robotics coaching, and how have you found the experience so far?
So I started coaching, this is my 14th year, 2016 is my 14th year. We started with one team of middle school students, and since then we've grown into our own independent nonprofit that my husband and I run, and 9 teams now. And as you can tell, so 1 to 9 plus a nonprofit, all no pay, all volunteer, all for fun. That should tell you how much I like it.
Yes, you are definitely a Wonder Woman, because I didn't even know that that was a whole nonprofit you were doing as well. So that's great. So what are you most proud of so far in the robotics world, but also outside of the robotics world?
In the robotics world itself, I think I'm most impressed by DARPA and some of the autonomous robots. If you've ever seen the DARPA competition, it's a professional competition. These robots have millions of dollars, and the idea is that they would be able to go into dangerous situations and rescue people. And the entire competition is just these robots trying to do things like open doors, pull out a body, bandage a leg, cast something. It makes it so it's safer for us to try to save people. That I think I'm the most proud of. And to have a government agency fund that and be the sponsors of that is just mind-blowing for me. 15 years ago, that wouldn't even have been a thought.
Wow. Wow. And outside of robotics, what are you most proud of?
Oh, wow. Wait, there's life outside robotics? I didn't know that was possible. I guess just in general, the number of women going into STEMs, science, technology, engineering, and math fields. When I was in college 15 years ago, I was one of 3 girls in my computer science program in college. And now I can go in and they're more like 10 to 15% women. I'm hoping in the next 20 years, you're seeing like a 50-50 ratio.
Right. So you would say that is your hopes and aspirations for technology and women and robotics in general, I'd say.
Oh, for sure. If you get a group of men together and it's only men doing a STEM thing, whether it be science or engineering, whatever, there is a specific mindset that happens and they go down this path. And it's hilarious because you can almost see it every time. But when you mix the genders, having women brought in, it flips it almost the whole style on its head when they start working together. And the whole entire flow from beginning to end changes. And it's hard to generalize it into generic terms, but it's the difference between a box and thinking inside the box, outside the box, on the side of the box, and then turning the box upside down. Mm-hmm. Throwing in that mixture, you need that difference.
Right. So your teams with your robotics kids, are they split? Are they mostly boys? How are you seeing them right now?
About 20% girls, 80% boys. So for the most part, still boys, but having me and a couple other female coaches go out and do mentoring in the community, it gets more girls interested in thinking, hey, wait, those are girls doing it. I bet I could.
Yeah, and that's really great. We definitely want to see more women in technology. But what would you say is your greatest advice to a person interested in either robotics or robotics coaching?
For someone interested in robotics themselves, just try it. Go out, buy an EV3 kit, get a JS node bot. Instructions are online, $30, you can have your own robot. Don't be afraid to experiment, and whatever you break, don't worry about it. You can just buy a new piece for $10. Everything is pieces and parts. If you're thinking about coaching, the best thing you can do, again, is grab a robot and try it, but with one extra piece. Remember that if you're coaching, it's about teaching skills. So whether those be engineering skills, robotic skills, or soft skills. I teach my kids leadership. I teach them community outreach, presentation skills. Those are all things that you can't teach in a classroom. It's very hard. And so if you can coach and do those things along with the skills that can be taught in a classroom like engineering, you've far exceeded any coaching beliefs or need.
Well, that's all great. You kind of answered a bunch of other questions that I was going to ask you, but I know you mentioned this before that there is no life outside of robotics, but I would like to ask you again, do you have any interests outside of robotics? I mean, I know you personally, and I would say traveling is one of your interests.
Oh yeah, I guess that you called me on it. I do have a life outside of robotics. I don't do it 24/7. My husband and I just got back actually from Kauai for our 5th anniversary, and that was absolutely amazing. We hiked into a volcano, up this peak of a mountain, out into a tide pool where he almost got washed away to sea. It was amazing, and I'm hoping in the next few years here to hit Japan. That's like my next one. We're doing our first family Disney World trip this spring, and then I think the next goal is Japan.
Well, I've been to Japan, so do you have any questions about Japan that you want to ask me right now?
I do. I wanted to ask you, what was your favorite thing about Japan? What was the one thing that was like you could not stop and not see when you went there?
Well, obviously for me, the best part of Japan was Harajuku, or Harajuku, as the natives call it. But basically, if you know about Japan or you know about Gwen Stefani, long time ago, Gwen Stefani went to Japan and she absorbed the Harajuku culture that is in this one part of Japan. And it's basically like the fashion capital of Japan. And it's not a very big strip of shopping area, but it's a little like town. Kind of like if you're in Boston, you're like hanging out on Newbury Street for all the fashion. And this place was my favorite because you could just sit on the curb and you could watch people go by. And depending on the time of day, if you were catching kids on their way to school or on the way after school, some of the fashion was a little bit funkier because you're looking for these Harajuku girls who kind of take accessories to like the nth degree. But just in general, it was a very it was great for window shopping and shopping in general. So I spent most of my time there, but I loved the people watching there. So that was definitely my favorite. But Japan itself, the culture, the people are so wonderful, are so polite. It's just coming back to America. It was a shock because everyone's so rude in America compared to Japan. So I love Japan, nicest people ever. So when you go out there, you can find English-speaking places and clubs and organizations where you can make friends while you're out there and then learn more about the culture as well.
Oh, that'd be awesome. Okay. You and I get to talk later and get a whole list of things for me to do.
Yeah, no, definitely. I love Japan. I would go back in a heartbeat if I had the money. It was one of the best experiences of 2015 for me, and I'm so grateful that I had the opportunity to even go out there. for 10 days. So yeah, I love that. But do you have any fun facts about robotics or yourself that you want to reveal in this interview that maybe other interviews don't have?
Oh man, I knew this was coming, and I've been thinking, and I'm blanking. I don't have a good fun fact. I'm boring, apparently. I like nerdy things.
Well, tell us about your best
Perhaps I
robot.
should show you this then. Not many people have seen our house, but every piece of our living room actually has some type of nerd icon. We've got swords, we've got an 8-bit art that actually cycles through different images. I got a signed Avengers poster from the cast. We have Batman comics. On that wall over there, I got Serenity and a signed poster from the guys that made Portal.
Yeah. So you're a big sci-fi, fantasy, geek nerd, similar to myself. This is probably why we've connected on multiple levels and multiple reasons.
That's totally it.
Yeah, but can you just tell us really quick about one of your most interesting robots, maybe, and what it did specifically?
So, actually, here, let me show you one of them. This is so I coach kids, different age groups, different sizes. So this is for the younger kids. They use what's kind of basically made by Lego. And this one actually has an arm that would drop down and pick up multiple things just using one little arm. And so the kids would just program it to go forward, drop, pull something back. I saw other teams trying to do the same thing with way more complex attachment with a lot less accuracy or success. So that's for little kids. The robots get bigger as they get older. When they get to 12th grade, they're basically my size. It takes 2 or 3 big guys to carry it out to the field.
Oh, wow. Wow. That's really cool. Yeah, I don't know how to make a robot at all. I mean, the closest thing I have to a robot is my Cricut and hooking that.
Now I gotta send you a Node.js bot to play with at home.
Oh,
Because
God.
my rule is if you want to learn, you just gotta try. Just gotta play with it.
Yeah, yeah, I'll add that to my list of hobbies to keep up
That's what I'm
with.
hoping for. That was my secret agenda when I joined this podcast. Was I was gonna get you to coach robotics.
Yeah, and then as long as I can make robots that help me wash the dishes and stuff like that.
Yeah, I haven't figured that one out yet. When you figure it out, let me know because I'd really like one.
Yeah. I mean, I think they're called dishwashers.
It doesn't work the way I want it to, so if you figure out how to make one that works better.
Yeah, one that actually puts the dishes into the dishwasher, washes them, and then puts them away.
It's that away part I have an issue with. I just can't quite get them there.
But you might have one already. I think it's called a husband.
Yeah, good luck on that one. 10 years later, it starts to break down. Like a robot gets older, it doesn't really remember all the original instructions.
You need a reboot.
Yeah, I think I do need to reboot him, but he's just so adorable right now. I don't know if I could.
We're talking about Chris. Chris, if you're watching this, hello.
Jax misses you. She wishes you could have saw her while you were in Boston.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He's out there right now, isn't he?
Yeah, he'll be back tomorrow, but he made it in safe. Snow didn't cause him any issues.
Oh, that's good. That's really good. So, I want to thank you, Carla, for being on this episode of Just About Everything. You're the first non-Massachusetts, Rhode Island-based guest.
First,
Yes, yeah. You can do your pump now. I have the camera on you. You can fist pump. Yes. You are the first Michigan or out of New England person to be interviewed. You're the first person for robotics, and I think that's awesome. We need to, one of the things I'd like to do with this show is definitely focus more women in cool positions of, technology and performance and everywhere, just because, why not feature women more so than men?
Art and science go together. I don't know what I'd do if I didn't have any artistic girls or boys on my team.
Exactly.
Make a robot and then never be able to sell it to the judging panels.
Right. So, so thank you very much for being on this show. And thank you for your friendship. I think February we have a friendiversary coming up.
We do. How long has it been now? Like 8 years? 7 or 8 years?
I think, isn't it more like, it's probably like 6, I
God.
think. I mean, we'll have to check, but I think it's like 6. Was it in 2010?
No, it was before that.
It was? Oh, shoot.
I thought it was. I got married
Oh,
in
2009. It was since
Yes.
2009. So that's what? That's 7?
7.
7 years. So 7 years. This is why we keep track of these
Yes,
things.
why I have a calendar.
Yes. So for 7 years we've been online pen pals and friends. So the internet is a wonderful tool, just like this interview being conducted through the internet.
Who knew
So
7 years later we'd still be friends?
I know, and through so much, Carla, so much. So for the outro, I need can I get double peace signs from you and a big smile, and thank you very much, Carla. Have a great day, and everyone watching, thanks for watching. New episodes every Tuesday. You can check them out on jaxadele.com. I'm also on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, Tumblr, LinkedIn, and probably more. But anyway, thank you guys, and have a great day.